So guys, welcome back to another video and welcome to something a little bit different today. In this video, we're actually going to be ranking a bunch of strikers in FIFA Ultimate Team. We're going to look at the best strikers under 100,000 coins. Now, I feel like I'm in a good position to do this video at this point because I've probably played way too much FIFA in the past few weeks, and I think you can see that from the amount of uploads I've been doing. So yeah, I feel like now's a good time for this video, especially with this being the first weekend of champs. So if you could leave a like rating on this video, please do exactly that, and in the comments below let me know your thoughts on the video, on my top 10, and also what other videos like this would you like to see. Do you want me to do other positions? Would you like me to do other budget ranges? Let me know all that good stuff down below. Now, I haven't included gameplay in this video, but if you do want to see gameplay of the players we're going to discuss, then check out the channel because I've pretty much player reviewed every single player that features in my top 10. So feel free to check out the player review playlist. Before we get into my top 10, here are some of the notable mentions. There's actually quite a few good strikers on this page right now. Like, Haaland is a really good striker in this game, but for me, he's let down a lot by his dribbling. Like, Haaland's a good example of a player that after a couple informs, he'll be brilliant. Like, once he gets that dribbling boost, he'll be really good in game. But for right now, his non-informed card, I don't think is as good as the 10 you're about to see. There's also players like Inaki Williams, who is very effective in game, but he's also very one-footed, so that holds him back. And there's also really cheap players like Hwang Hee-chan, who is just a really overpowered player, who is very good for his rating, but ultimately isn't as good as some other forwards in the game. He's very overpowered for his rating, like I say, but in comparison to other strikers, he's not quite as good. Anyway, let's get into the top 10 and let's see what kind of discussions we can have for these. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of talk in the comments about my top 10. I'd be interested to hear yours, so let's see mine. In at number 10, we have Ciro Immobile, a player who I believe is quite underrated in a lot of FIFAs, to be honest. He's a very good early game striker in my opinion, and that's because his finishing and shooting stats in general are always very impressive. And this card in game is very good when it comes to goal scoring. His pace isn't amazing, nor is his dribbling. Those are a couple of things that maybe hold him back. But other than that, it's just a really nice card that not only has a good shooting ability, but is strong in the positioning area, and also his short passing game is quite nice as well. Yeah, a good card, and for 18k, you really can't go too wrong, to be honest. Put a good chem style on him, like a Hawk, to give him a bit of a pace boost, and you've got a really good card. And also, if you put Hawk on this guy, his shooting stats are elite at that point. We move on to the 9th spot, and I've gone for Griezmann. Now, I think this is a bit of an interesting one because Griezmann for some people is great, and for others he's terrible. He's one of them players who I think in FIFA is very hot and cold, but there's no doubt denying that he has some really good in-game stats, and in-game he's quite effective. Also, he just made this video because, as you can see, currently he's going for 99,000 coins on PlayStation, 90k on Xbox, so he is under 100k, but yeah, only just made it in this video. Is a bit limited by his weak foot, which is unfortunate because he's got some really nice technical stats, and also his strength isn't the best either, so he can be quite easily knocked off the ball. But I really like his dribbling. It's just a shame he doesn't have like brilliant pace in the game. But yeah, nice card, and pretty much a wand of a left foot in game. In the next position is Jamie Vardy, a player who in Ultimate Team for me over the past few years has just been ridiculous, like super effective in game. He might not have like as good stats as some other strikers in the game, but in terms of like in-game effectiveness, this Vardy and like Vardy's in previous games have always been really good for me. He just shows such good aggression in game and fights for the ball, and he's one of the players that when you're running at a defender, there's a chance that he's not just going to beat him for pace, but he's also just going to like run past them and just keep the ball, just somehow, despite not having an amazing strength stat, showing great strength just to like shrug them off. It's like in rugby, just running through the line, just like handing them off, running through on goal, and then taking off a shot. And in this year's Ultimate Team, he's got a couple of attributes which I think benefit him a lot for the FIFA 20 gameplay. Very quick, he's got that high aggression, and also his shot power is very good, so he's great for cross-goal shots. Limited once more by his 3-star set, and better skill moves and weak foot on this card would obviously be very beneficial, and so would a passing upgrade, but as a whole, as a striker, just a really effective card. And now we come on to a bit of an interesting one, Lautaro Martinez. This is another one of them items which I feel this year is going to be very hit or miss for some people. Some people will love this card, some people will hate it, and I said that in my player review of this item, because when I first started playing this year's Ultimate Team, I was coming up against this card a lot, and it did so much damage against me. He is a handful to dispossess of the ball. Now, like I've put on the screen, I don't think he has many particular standout attributes, but he's just got a really good blend of very, very good ones. Like, he doesn't particularly have a bad negative either. Like, a bad negative, that doesn't really make sense. He doesn't really have a standout negative either, and I just think he's a very well-rounded attacker, and in game, his passing is so much better than his stats suggest as well. And if you've seen my player review on this guy, you'll have seen that he distributed the ball really well for me, and for 13k, I really don't think you can get much better value than that. That is a brilliant price for this card, and it's probably only going to get cheaper, so definitely a card to keep an eye on. Of course, this man features in my video, Rodrigo. He's definitely one of the go-to strikers of this year's Ultimate Team, especially in early game. Currently costing, though, around 37,000 coins, which is a bit on the expensive side, let's be honest, for an 82 overall, but there's a reason he's expensive. He's a popular item, and he's a sought-after item. Good pace, in-game finishes very well. He's got a nice bit of short passing about him, and positionally, he's also very solid. He's another player which his weak foot isn't the best, and that can be a bit limiting, but aside from that, it's a good card with good pace, good physicals, and good goal scoring abilities, so understandably it's a popular card this year. Now we come into the top 5 for me, and Aguero just had to be in there. He's another one of them like Griezmann who just makes it into this video, with his value being 99,000 coins on PlayStation, a little bit cheaper on Xbox once more. But yeah, Aguero in this game, yeah, he does lack the breakaway pace, but aside from that, he is a top class striker, and ultimately is one of the best finishers in the game when it comes to base items. Like, his goal scoring ability in this year's FIFA is fantastic. Like, his finesse shots for me were awesome, and so were his power shots, and you can go off either foot with him as well, which is really, really nice, and he also can distribute well too, and his dribbling is also really good. I seem to have somehow forgotten to write dribbling in the pro section. I've put ball control, but I should add like dribbling as well, because as a whole, he's very, very good. Obviously, like I say, he does lack that breakaway pace, but if you put Hunter Chem style on this guy, that definitely does help with that department. So yeah, Aguero, a really, really good card. As long as you're not after a super pacey breakaway striker, Aguero is definitely a great option for your teams. And a weird how Ultimate Team works, isn't it? Because in reality, Gabriel Jesus shouldn't be ahead of Aguero, but like, due to in-game gameplay, I actually think in terms of base cards, this Gabriel Jesus card is a bit better than Aguero. I like the pace of it, and I also like the physicals as well. And I don't know what it is. I've been using this card in my Premier League teams quite regularly, and his finishing just seems so much better than the stats suggest. I have really, really enjoyed using Gabriel Jesus this year. He's also got very nice dribbling too. Once again, the weak foot is a bit of a hindrance, but really, really good card. Like, this is obviously getting a bit ahead of myself, but if this guy got like a 5-star weak foot card, like for Foot Birthday or something, I would be all over that. I think that card would be absolutely ridiculous. Now things get really interesting, because we're breaking into the top 3, and in at 3 for me is Mertens. It's another year where at the start, early game, he is super, super effective. He's got very good pace, he's very good on the ball, he's got really nice dribbling stats, and his shooting is also very, very good. His strength is very poor, and he's one of the players that you must avoid defenders at all costs with, but as long as you can keep this guy in space, you're going to do damage with him. He is a very big, very good attacker, and it's great that he's got such good versatility as well. Like, obviously this video is focusing mainly on the striker position, but with this card, you can use him at cam, you can use him at centre forward, you can even use him on the wing as well if you wanted to. I like that in a player, the fact that like if you're down, you can like switch your team around a bit by moving players in position. So yeah, Mertens, very good card this year, and I do like him in the striker role too. In second spot for me is Memphis Depay. Now, if you've seen my player review on this guy, you will know I love him in FIFA 21 Ultimate Team. And if you haven't used this guy in this year's FUT, I really do recommend it. Even if you're not going to start him, pick him up as a super sub, because at 11k, I think he is the best value striker you can get for 100k. I really, really do. In terms of just value for money, he's 100% number 1, because he's just so effective. He really, really is. He's one of them players who's got a brilliant combination of both pace and strength, so he can run through defences. He's also got ridiculous shot power in game, which makes him lethal for those cross-goal shots. And his finishing in general is also to a very good standard too. And also, he can pass really well, so he can link up well with players around him. Once more, a very versatile attacker. And as a bonus, he's got 5-star skills as well, so happy days. Weak foot, once again, yeah, that's just an obvious con. Another player who I would love to see get a weak foot upgrade. If he did, that card would be unreal. So now we arrive at the number 1 spot, and for me in Ultimate Team, the best striker you can currently pick up for less than 100k is Paulo Dybala, who, when I used him, he's just unreal for me. He really, really was. Pace, he felt quick in game for me. His dribbling was awesome. He's got really, really good ball control, and his positioning was class. And then in front of goal, for me, his left foot was just mad. Finesse shots, power shots, long shots, just simple finishes, chip shots, whatever it was. This guy was just putting the ball in the back of net on a regular basis for me, and he was just a very fun card to use. He can also distribute really well too, and link up well with players around him. Like, I really, really enjoyed using Dybala when I did, and I'll be definitely using him throughout this year's Ultimate Team. I actually really didn't like him in last year's foot, but this year I think he's just so much better, and as I say, he scored some terrific goals for me, and I really do enjoy using him. So for me, under 100k, if that's all you've got to spend on a forward, Dybala would be my pick. As long as you don't mind the fact that you are going to have to go off his left foot regularly, you're going to have a lot of fun with this card because it's a great item. So guys, there you have it. In my opinion, that is the best strikers under the 100k mark in FIFA 21 Ultimate Team. I'd be very interested to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. If you disagree with any of my picks, that's absolutely fair enough, but if you're going to disagree, I want to hear your thoughts. I want to see your top 10, so make sure you put that in the comment section. Guys, we're coming towards the end of the video now. If you have enjoyed it, please do leave a like rating on it. Also in the comments, do you want to see more videos like this? Different positions, different budgets, let me know, all that good stuff. Subscribe if you're new around here. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.